Yo, what the fuck is YouTube's problem? The stream got shut down because apparently it violates YouTube's community. Since when? I am a good boy. I shouldn't be violating your community guidelines. Jesus fuck. Like, seriously. What the hell did I do? I tried filming this earlier. I got taken down because it affects their community guidelines. YouTube. Get your shit together. Seriously. I mean, fuck's sake, man. There was literally no music playing, and the stream gets taken down. All right. No jumper this week. Let's get into our topics. If I can find a good topic to start off on. Let's start off with our weekly show reviews. So we're going to start off with Raw. Again, I'm going to have to announce Empty Arena because of, We start off with an Edge promo, which was brilliant. And then he announced that he's challenging Randy Orton to a last man standing match at WrestleMania. Then Becky Lynch arrives in a big rig mobile, like a truck, semi-truck. And then they replayed the entirety of the Men's Royal Rumble match from January. They are running replays of matches that already happened because of Corona, because of bullshit. And then they had the AJ Styles Undertaker contract signing, which AJ actually calls Undertaker Mark. He actually does. Calls him Mark right in the middle of the ring. Called him Mark. And I was like, you're breaking character, AJ. Stop it. And then Undertaker beat down the OC before he signed the fucking contract. Then we had our first actual match, which I gave 3 stars. It was Rey Mysterio and Andrade. I'm going to retake that 3 stars and make it 2.25 because of how short it was. I'm giving it 2.25 stars. Rey Mysterio and Andrade. Rey beat Andrade. That was the only match on Raw. Then we get to Asuka on commentary. She was on commentary for the match. And to those of you who liked Asuka on commentary, I'm sorry I'm about to piss you off. But I did not like her on commentary this week. It bugged the hell out of me. It was awful. And then we get a Shayna Baszler video package or promo. And then Becky Lynch video package, promo in the ring. Then we get a Kevin Owens interview. And he announced that he's challenging Rollins to Mania. And then Steve Austin comes out to celebrate 316 Day. And he gives himself a back bump by chugging some beer and then falling backwards on his back. That was his back bump. And then he goes over the rules of 316 Day. And then afterwards, he invites Byron in for a beer and then stunners him. He gives him 2 stunners. And then the Street Profits receive stunners. After all went off there, the Street Profits came out to celebrate 316 Day with Becky and Austin. And then they took another stunner. They both took a stunner, which I will get into later about Montez's. They took multiple stunners. Byron took 4 fucking stunners. 3 from Austin, 2 from 1 from Becky. And then Austin did another back bump. Then we get to the results of Impact Wrestling, where this show had a crowd. But I'm going to have to mention that Impact is pre-taped. I have to mention that Impact is pre-taped, which is the reason why there was a crowd. And then we had a tag team title match between the North and TJP and Falaba. It was a great match. I'm giving it 3.5 stars. The North beat TJP and Falaba to retain the titles. Then Eddie Edwards announced his Lockdown team, which I'm going to have to announce right now. Lockdown has been postponed due to, they postponed the Lockdown. Eddie Edwards' Lockdown team is himself, Tommy Dreamer, Daga, and Tessa Blanchard. And then we get to the Real Housewives of Slamtown Manor segment with Rosemary, which I actually found quite funny. I actually found it quite hilarious, that segment. Now, you can't talk about this segment without talking about Taya Valkyrie's wardrobe malfunction, which thank God that the show is pre-taped. So they caught that at the right time. So they censored it. Thank God they did. We don't want to get banned on TV now, do we? Chris Bay making his debut, defeating Damian Drake in a match I gave 2.5 stars. Then Jordynne Grace and Alicia Edwards had a backstage segment. And then we get another Tennille Dashwood video package, vignette. Then Chase Stevens has an interview and is interrupted by Moose, where he starts roasting the shit out of Moose. We'll get into that later. Then we got a sit-down interview with Tessa Blanchard, which was all right. Then we get Joey Ryan and Rob Van Dam cutting a promo. Now, I have to mention Joey Ryan's outfit. He is not wearing his usual attire. Instead, he's like in a nerd suit. And him and Rob Van Dam are calling themselves Cancel Culture. They beat the Deaners in a match I'm giving 2 stars. Then there was a match between... Then we get a Ken Shamrock backstage interview, which was all right. And then Willie Mack and Ace Austin have a backstage segment. Kiera Hogan defeats Lacey Ryan in a match I gave 2.25 stars. Su Yung and Havoc are confirmed to have a match in the Undead Realm next week. Michael Elgin announces his Lockdown team of himself, Taya Valkyrie, and the North. And then I'm going to have to also announce that Rebellion is not postponed. Supposed to. And then Daga defeated Jake Christ in the main. Get a Ken Shamrock's career announcement. And that career announcement is he's entering the Impact Hall of Fame. That's the career announcement. He's entering the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. The hacker was not revealed, but then he was revealed. The ICU was revealed after he threw a fireball at Ken Shamrock's face. And the ICU was Sami Callihan, which gave a big pop from the crowd. Then I watched AEW on Wednesday this week because NXT wasn't going to run any matches. I'm going to have to announce AEW was also an empty arena and the Elite settled their differences. And then we got a Death Triangle video package. And then we get a little thing of MJF and Shawn Spears gambling. I also have to announce that the are like on the outside of the barricade. They're basically the crowd tonight. Pentagon, I have to announce that Pentagon wore a Venom mask. Pentagon had a Venom mask on, which I thought was pretty cool. I like comic books, so that was awesome. And then I have to announce Trent Botch. Okay, so what was supposed to happen was Trent was supposed to dive onto, fucking forget who, Pentagon and Phoenix? I think it was just Pentagon. And he kind of miscalculated and got caught on the rope, so he just stepped out the ring and just dove at Pentagon. That was fucking hilarious. But it was a good match. Lucha Bros defeat the Best Friends, and the match I gave 3 stars. It was all right. Then the Best Friends challenge the Lucha Bros to a parking lot brawl next week. And then we get a 4-way women's match, which was nothing. I guess gave 2 stars. No, actually, I'm going to retake that and give it 1.75 stars. I did not like this match. No, it's fun to poke fun at Kip Sabian during this match because he got laid out from both Chris Statlander and Hiroku Shida. Hiroku Shida, the woman I wanted to win the title in the first place, wins this match, defeating Chris Statlander, Penelope Ford, and Riho. Which, thank God she won. She should have been champion already. And I probably stated this before. I do not like the current champion, women's champion that AEW have had. Like Rio and Nyla Rose, I'm not big fans of them. Hiroku Shida kind of, in my opinion, deserves it more. Then we get a Cole Cabana interview, and then he slaps Kip Sabian. Then we get a outside the building segment where Jon Moxley is still not clear to show up to the arena. Which, ain't he under contract? Ain't he the champion? He should be allowed in the fucking building. Now, Butcher and the Blade fought Jurassic Express. And I had to announce that Allie, a.k.a. the Bunny, was not at ringside for this segment. She wasn't. Which shocked me. I was like, where is she? And I remembered, oh, yeah, the fucking pandemic is going on. Fuck's sake, man. And then we get to Jurassic Express versus Butcher and the Blade. Jurassic Express pick up the win over Butcher and the Blade in a match I'm giving 2.75 stars. I wasn't into the match that much. I wasn't into it as much as I thought I'd be. And then Joey Janela, we have to just confirm he's the funniest man in AEW. Give him all the belts now. Joey Janela is awesome. Give him every single belt now, even the women's belt. Give him them all. Give them all to him. Then we get another interview with Jake Roberts where Lance Archer says nothing and does not kill anybody. Well, that happened later on, where the Dark Order come out and they're about to reveal the Exalted One. And for weeks, we're like, who's the Exalted One? Who is it? Who can it be? Is it Matt Hardy? And I went, better fucking not be Matt Hardy. Too fucking obvious. Make it something that isn't obvious. And then it's something that isn't obvious. If they make it Brody Lee is the Exalted One. For those of you who don't know who Brody Lee is, he is the former Luke Harper in WWE. He was Luke Harper. And it's good to see something different for a change. Good to see something different. The fact that Brody Lee was the Exalted One. I popped out of my seat for that. When it was Brody Lee, I was like, oh, wow, it wasn't Matt Hardy? Shit, thank God. Thank God, man. Thank God it wasn't him. And then we get to the Lance Archer video package where the video package shows him killing everybody. Everybody dies, man. Then we get the Inner Circle versus the Elite, where the Inner Circle wins in a match I'm giving 3.5 stars. And then they announce that they have meaning they have the upper hand going to Blood and Guts. And which I think might have been postponed due to you know what. And then all of a sudden you see a drone. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And then Matt Jackson goes, I made a phone call to someone who owed me a favor. And then it pans up to the nosebleed section and it reveals Matt Hardy. Big shock. No, not really. We knew he was going to AEW when his contract expired. And I went, well, you guys are shocked. I'm not. I'm not shocked. Like, I knew it was happening, so I didn't pop. I felt like Matt Hardy going to AEW was way too predictable. We knew it was happening. And the fact that you guys are taking this so seriously when you knew it was going to happen, like, even if you say, oh, I didn't know that Matt Hardy was going to go to AEW, screw you, yes, you fucking did. At this point, it was confirmed when he left WWE. It was confirmed he was going to AEW. The nerve on you. The nerve on you, wrestling fans, for thinking that Matt Hardy going to AEW was predictable. The nerve. You call yourselves wrestling fans, you would have known that he was going to AEW. So I didn't pop, and the fact that I didn't hear anyone in, well, I guess the superstars who weren't booked for the night didn't know that Matt Hardy had been signed, so they were shocked, but I'm not going to count it as pop of the week. There was no other one. If anyone else was in the audience, then If there was anyone else in the audience, then it would have been, if there were any actual fans, then it would have gotten pop of the week, but it didn't. Something else did. Next up, we hit NXT, which is going to be a short talk because it had no matches. Instead, we just had it hosted by Tom Phillips and Triple H. We had Ciampa and Gargano discuss their history. Finn Balor talks his career and Walter, and Rhea Ripley talking about Charlotte Flair. And she said, also, okay, I have to explain this of what Rhea said in her interview. She was like, whenever they woo, whenever she woos, they woo. Now, with no fans, no one's going to be wooing. It's just going to be you and me. And I'm like, what about the referee? I'm pretty sure the referee has to be involved in order for the match to be both begin and end. The referee is an important part to wrestling. Fuck's sake. People don't understand how important the referee is. And then we get to SmackDown, which is an empty arena. And then we get Mojo Rawley, the Cringe Lord. To those of you like Mojo Rawley, what the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. Get some taste and good wrestlers. And then Gronkowski appears. I'm like, also sure enough that Gronkowski is the host of WrestleMania. We're going to get into that later. Then King Corbin interrupts. Then Elias interrupts. Then Rob pushes Corbin. And Elias throws Corbin out of the ring. And then they announce Elias and Corbin at Mania. Which is going to happen probably. Then Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak defeat Cesaro and Nakamura in a match I rated 2.75 stars. Then Daniel and Drew stretch. Then Daniel just makes a match for next week. If Drew Gulak can defeat, I think, Cesaro, or not actually Nakamura, then Daniel gets a shot at Sami Zayn's Intercontinental belt at Mania. Then Paige makes an appearance on the Titantron because she couldn't be there. I'm like, fuck. And Paige is interrupted by Bayley and Sasha. And Paige makes a match. And I'm like, is she coming out of retirement? And then she goes, Bayley, you're going to defend your SmackDown Women's title against Lacey Evans. And she goes, that's not all. And I'm like, is she going to return? Dana Brooke. Tamina. Naomi. Then Sasha chimes in, and then Paige goes like, oh yeah, Sasha, you're in that match too. And I'm like, first off, it should just be either Bayley versus Paige, or better yet, Bayley versus Sasha. Turn Sasha face. It's why make it a 6-pack with 4 wrestlers? Don't get me wrong, I like Naomi. But why make it 4 wrestlers whom we don't care about? If you care about Naomi, I'm sorry, but it should have just been Bayley and Sasha. Then we replay the Cena Wyatt match from WrestleMania 30. And then we get to Bliss and Nikki Cross in their interview where Bliss challenges Asuka to a match next week. And then we get a Miz and Morrison dirt sheet segment. And I'm like, oh, wow, these guys are the funniest people on the roster. Yay. They put comedy at its finest for this segment. And then Morrison and Miz defeat Heavy Machinery via DQ after Otis gets pissed off after the pictures he sees of Mandy and Ziggler. Which I'm surprised they didn't get counted out first. He wails on Miz and Morrison with chairs after throwing them to a fucking barricade. Then we get to the Reigns Goldberg contract signing, which went the way it would have went in real. It should have went. Fuck's sake! Like, you can't book a good Mania if you don't have good matches. Which at this rate, what matches does Mania have this year to turn you on? Now we get to our weekly awards. Pop of the week goes to Sami Callihan and his return to Impact. You thought I was going to go to Matt Hardy? No one popped when that happened. I'm only counting pops that happened in the building of the show. If there was no pop during the show, then it doesn't count. If you popped at home, it doesn't count. Heat of the week goes to Joey Ryan. Main reason for that being he said he wasn't going to do the dickplex anymore. The dick flip anymore. And I was like, boo you then. Because that's what he's known for, is doing the dick flip. And then Yeet moment of the week goes to The Undertaker for yeeting a fucking table. Literally, he just wastes no time getting to the ring and then just yeets a table. It's awesome. Savage of the week goes to Cal Newman from the No Fans Monday show. We're going to get into that later. He roasts David Starr, and then we get to Job of the week going to Damian Drake from Impact. Promo of the week, Edge on Raw. Match of the week, Will Ospreay and Bea Priestley from the Wrestle Talk No Fans Monday show. We'll get into that later. Roast of the week goes to Chase Stevens on Impact. And then Bump of the week goes to Bea Priestley on Wrestle Talk on the No Fans Monday. Sell of the week goes to Montez Ford for his selling of the stunner. He sold it like he got shot by Mr. Freeze's freeze gun. Now, question of the week is, would a gimmick like The Undertaker get over now? That's a question for you guys. Answer it. Would a gimmick like The Undertaker get over with crowds now? Now we're going to talk about that No Fans Monday show that happened. So we start off with Paul Robinson versus the OJMO, which I gave 2.5 stars because it was only 6 minutes. Paul Robinson picks up the win. Then we get the Scramble of Doom, which was 8 minutes, 5 seconds. I gave it 2.75 stars. Then we get to Giselle Shaw versus Mercedes Blaze. I gave it 2.5 stars because it was only 7 minutes. I don't like short matches. Then we get to David Starr versus Callum Newman. David Starr picking up the win in 11 minutes, 31 seconds. I gave it 3.5 stars. Then we get to Lucas Steele and Nate Cruz versus Robbie X and Scotty Davis in a 10-minute, 15-minute match. I gave it 3 stars. Then we get to Kyle Fletcher versus Connor Mill. Kyle Fletcher picks up the win. Lucas Steele and Nate Cruz picked up the win in that tag match. Kyle Fletcher picks up a win in an 18-minute match, which I gave 4 stars because it was that good. Then Will Ospreay fought Bea Priestley in the main event. In 19 minutes, 9 seconds, I gave it 0.5 stars. Now, reason why Bea Priestley gets bump of the week. Here's the reason. So she took a really bad back bump on the outside, and she did the Will Ospreay was like set up on the ropes, waiting for Bea to double foot stomp him. She does, and then she does not hit the apron. She goes straight to the floor, back first, and I was like, nope. That would hurt. That would hurt. Now, we spoke about No Fans Monday. It was a great show. Thank you, Wrestle Talk, for putting on a great show. The show was called In Your Warehouse, and the logo was very similar to the In Your House logo that WWE hasn't used since the 90s. Fuck's sake, WWE, get some fucking standards. Jesus Christ. Seriously. Why are you suing indie promotions? Then we get to another big story. Former What Culture Pro Wrestling / Defiant Wrestling superstar Martin Kirby has officially retired from professional wrestling, which he was a great wrestler. I've seen him wrestle on What Culture a bunch of times. He's a great wrestler. Great. He is. I wish him the best in his retirement. He was one the most over guy in What Culture when that promotion was still going. He's the most over guy. Then we get to Jushin Thunder Liger being announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, well deserved. He was in WCW, New Japan. He wrestled a match in NXT. What more could you want from Jushin Thunder Liger? I mean, come on. It's Jushin Liger. He's a great wrestler. And then we get to Ken Shamrock entering the Impact Hall of Fame, which we discussed earlier. Then we get to the news of an empty arena Mania, which I'm going to say it. You wrestling fans don't deserve to attend WrestleMania. You don't deserve it. What makes you think you deserve to attend Mania? What makes you think you deserve it? You don't deserve it. Tell me, what makes you think you fans deserve to attend WrestleMania? What makes you deserve it? Because you don't. The shit you put WWE through this whole year up to Mania. The shit you put them through. Oh, you buried Kofi, but you booed him for his title reign. You boo Rollins, but you cheered him when he won the belt. Make up your fucking minds. Seriously. It's not that hard to make up your mind. If you want to boo someone, boo them. Quit being fucking hypocrites. Vince is one man. Tries his best to make the show you like. But he has so much people on the roster that he can't book them all. Can't book them all to win. Fuck's sake. Then we get to Mania becoming 2 nights, which my first reaction was, why are you stealing New Japan's gimmick? Because this year, for the first time ever, Wrestle Kingdom was hosted under 2 nights. And this year, WrestleMania is getting hosted under 2 nights. And then we get to even more bad news. Rob Gronkowski is hosting Mania, which I'm like, less people associated with Mojo Rawley, the better, for fuck's sake. Less people associated with him, the better. If he turns on Mojo, I will pop. Okay, here's a topic I really wanted to talk about. Why wrestling fans suck. Earlier this year, Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy won the Raw Tag Team titles from the Viking Raiders. You guys booed them out the building. And they were not a big-time tag team. So they don't deserve the belts. Also, in January, Kenny Omega and Adam Page win the AEW tag team titles. You guys congratulate them. You cheer for them. And you think, this is how to do tag team titles, WWE. Let me remind you something. It's the same thing! 2 talented wrestlers winning tag titles that aren't really a tag team. It's the same fucking thing. What makes you think it's different? It's the same thing. There's no difference between it. Like, seriously, what difference there between Rollins and Murphy, two great athletes winning the tag titles, and then Kenny Omega, Adam Page, two great athletes winning the tag titles aren't really a team. Both are the same thing. You people make no sense. I swear to God. Like when they won the tag titles, I booed. Because you guys cheered them, so I booed them. I cheered when Rollins and Murphy won the tag titles, and you guys booed. So when Adam Page and Omega won the tag titles, you guys cheered, I booed. Main reason for that being is because I'm going to call you guys hypocrites for the rest of time. After Elimination Chamber, I pointed out on Twitter that Vince has so many wrestlers that he can push. It's not his fault, and then you people still kept arguing, saying, oh, we're still going to blame Vince for this shit. No, blame yourself for asking for everything. You asked for too fucking much. I'm spitting everywhere. You asked for too much. He can't handle it. He's one man. You ask for too much. It's disgusting. You fans are. You fans are disgusting. Seriously. What did Vince do so wrong to get all this hate? He tries to push your favorite wrestlers, but then you boo your favorite wrestlers. You boo the people that you like. You boo them when they get pushed to the moon. You people are just the worst fans in history. Wrestling fans are the worst. Am I the only good wrestling fan? Seriously. I'm the only logical wrestling fan there is. And if I had to turn heel to prove it, then so be it. Fuck's sake. You people are seriously the worst. You are the worst fans. You wrestling fans are the worst fans that in human history. Like, you get hypocritical when WWE does something bad, but if AEW does the same fucking thing, you cheer. Same thing with predictability. You boo when something predictable happens in WWE. Like, say, Roman Reigns wins the Rumble in 2015. You boo. What happens when Matt Hardy debuts in AEW? It's so fucking predictable, you guys cheer. You guys are like, holy shit, Matt Hardy's in AEW. Didn't see that coming. Bullshit. Yes, you fucking did. The next topic was both WWE and AEW each have a Hardy boy. WWE has Jeff. AEW has Matt. Also, I have to announce this. Why in the fuck is Twist of Fate trademarked by Rebby Sky? She never did the move. She never pulled off the move. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy have pulled off the move their whole careers. Jeff Hardy is Matt's brother, and she's not allowing Jeff to use it. It's a fucking disgrace she is, I swear. Why aren't you allowing your husband's brother to use a fucking move that he's been using his whole career, forcing him to adapt to a neckbreaker version? Disgraceful, Rebby Sky is, I swear. You'd think Matt Hardy would allow Jeff to still use the move since he's his brother, but Rebby Sky ain't allowing it. Swear to God, wrestling fans are the fucking worst. ACH said it best. ACH, I'm sorry, bro, but you should have just stayed away from the business. These fans are really the worst. You were right, man. Wrestling fans are seriously the worst. Then we get to another topic. Alberto Del Rio's possible WWE return. We get to his official... He's said that he's going to return to the WWE soon. He's currently in talks. I'm surprised WWE would want him back because he left under bad conditions. I'm surprised he'd want to come back. He left under bad circumstances and he wants to come back. He's hoping that he can come back. He's hoping it. He left under bad circumstances. No wrestling promotion wants to hire him. No wrestling promotion wants to book him because of how untrustworthy he is. He no-showed events in Impact. That's why he got fired. Started no-showing events from What Culture? That's why he got fired. Surprised WWE actually want him back after all the shit that happened. It's... Seriously. You'd think that all the shit that happened, you'd think that it would be easy for him not to come back. But apparently he is. Then we get to the possibility of McIntyre and Lesnar at Mania being canceled. That match being canceled. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but Lesnar has blood problems, and the possibility of him not being at Mania is very high due to the whole situation that's going on in the world. He has a very low immune system, so the chance of him getting the virus is very high. Very high on getting the virus. It's seriously a big problem for Brock because he has blood problems. So the possibility of the match getting canceled is very high. The chance of him not making it, very high. I'm going to have to rag on the wrestling fans some more. I'm going to rag on you guys some more before I get into the last topic. What makes you guys think that blaming Vince McMahon is going to get you anywhere? Seriously. What makes you think it's going to get you anywhere? It's not fair to him. How old is Vince? Hold up. How old is he? Vince McMahon. How old is the man? 74. He is 74 years old. And you're going to blame him for everything bad in the WWE. Actually, the real people you should be blaming for everything wrong in the WWE is yourselves. You ask for too much. Vince is one man. And the shows are hours long. Or only 3 to 2 hours long. What makes you think that he can book all those wrestlers in 2-hour shows or 3-hour shows? What makes you think he can do that? Triple H has a problem booking a bunch of wrestlers for NXT. So, what makes you think AEW has the same problem? They have too many wrestlers, and they have problems booking them. Now, the way AEW can change that is having a mid-card title. Like an Intercontinental title or a US title. They could have a mid-card belt. They don't have one. Meaning a bunch of stars are getting buried. And you people think that's fine. But when WWE buries a wrestler, you boo them. You shit on Vince. Vince does not deserve to be shit on. I am not kissing his ass. I am putting you in your place. Vince does not deserve the hate. The only people that deserve the hate for everything wrong with the WWE is you. That and Saudi Arabia, but mainly you. The reason Goldberg beat The Fiend was because they were in Saudi Arabia. The Prince would not have liked if The Fiend beat a legend like Goldberg. Vince would have wanted The Fiend to walk into Mania as champion. The Fiend was supposed to be in a match against Roman. Instead, booked against Cena. Reason why is because of the Saudi Prince. Would have walked out if Goldberg lost. Probably would have beheaded Vince. That's why, if I ever get hired by WWE and they have another deal with Saudi Arabia, I'm not going. I don't want to be in the building of a show where legends are favored. They shouldn't be. They should be one-time things. And they shouldn't be winning championships. If they're Hall of Famers and they're not wrestling full-time, championships are not necessary. Do you guys hear me? What makes you fans think you deserve to attend Mania? What makes you think Mania was going to get canceled in the first place? What makes you think it was going to get postponed? All you fans say you're not going to watch Mania. See you when April 4th and April 5th happen. You guys are going to be watching Mania, and I'm going to be rubbing in your face that you guys watched Mania when you said you weren't. You fans are just the biggest hypocrites. Wrestling fans are hypocrites. You guys shit on the business that a bunch of wrestlers try so damn hard to entertain you. What do? You shit on it. If I ever said Dragon Ball Z was awful, I don't like anime. Which is true. I don't like anime. I don't watch it. I don't catch up with it. I don't talk about it. I don't play any anime video games. I might have to if I ever start a fighting game review show, but I have never played. Well, the only anime I've ever watched was Pokemon. Nothing else. I tuned out after a long time ago. And then I realized how stupid the show was. I've resented anime ever since. I don't watch anime. I hate it. If you're going to shit on me for hating anime, go ahead. I don't care. I think anime is overrated. You guys can call me a hypocrite on anime all you want. As long as I'm able to call you hypocrites in the wrestling world, because all you guys ever do is shit on Vince for doing something that he can't control. He can't control it. All right? The creative department controls who wins and who loses. Blame them. Vince is not to blame. Vince wants to push Ricochet. He wanted to give Ricochet a good showing at Super Showdown. But the creative department was like, he's not believable enough. When they put Ray and Balor to wrestle longer and actually have offense. It's a shame. Now we got to go into the next topic. Now, if you saw the title of the stream and you saw the last thing on there, you'd know we're going to talk about Benoit. Chris Benoit. Because the first half of the documentary of Chris Benoit has been released to YouTube by Vice. I watched it and I got sad because to know the full details of what happened and before what happened, what caused Benoit to shut off from the world, which was when Eddie passed, that shut him off from the world. He cried nonstop after that. He couldn't stop. I'm actually going to watch the first half again after I'm done with the podcast. You get to see guys talk like Dean Malenko, Jim Ross, Vicky Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Chris Jericho, the Nancy Benoit's sister. I actually, before I started watching the thing, I actually looked at the autopsy reports for Benoit. Because I thought it was the concussions and the fact that his brain was not right. It gets sad once you hear about Eddie's passing and the way Nancy and Chris met. I'm man enough to admit I cried during those moments. And they left it on a cliffhanger because they're waiting for part 2 to discuss the actual murder, double murder suicide. If you haven't seen the first half of the documentary that Vice is doing, go watch it. After the stream, I'll put the link in the description for you guys to see the first half of the documentary. Actually, I might do that right now. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do that right now before we shut down the stream. So, Benoit remains a great technician, but what he did was unforgivable. Like, you can't watch a Benoit match nowadays without thinking about the incident. You can try, but it'll just make you sad. All right, it won't let me do it because of bullshit. Anyway, that is the end of the Wrestle Stream podcast part number 3, episode 3. See you guys next week. I'll try to upload that Shazam video because that video never uploaded.